Well, good morning, folks. Hey, we're just going to do a quick market recap. Of course, at the end of the presentation, please review our disclosures. Let's jump right into this. Hey, we're going over swing trade notes here. All right, now gold, we had an inside week last week, but it looks like it's already done to the downside. We did get our breakout prior week, or the latter part of it. Next target now is an intermediate wave 3 around 197. It's tightened up a little bit. But that's also good because this back test off of that 3 should give us a launching pad towards our primary wave 3 over 200. So as far as I'm concerned, I still looks like we're headed to the upside. Now, Blackstone, this is something we put out a little ways back, and a number of you I know are in it. So I wanted to break it down, give you a little bit of a look. We have this intermediate wave 3 that's going to come in just above the 8-day, and then we get a back test and heading towards 126. Now, coming out of the holidays or going into the holidays on this one, because I believe you have January. So you're going to be less than 2 weeks if you hold it through Christmas. So I'm going to probably say the Thursday of Christmas week, I would probably close out the $80 and $90 calls. And then at that point, start scaling back into something a little higher, maybe, 120, 125s, and, go out towards March, push it a little further out, because then we should get a breakout off of this shot above 38.2 fib. So, at that point, we should come back and test this just above the 50% back, I would think around 130, based on the look here. All right, looking at the dollar, still in no man's land. We got a little bit of a pop, and notice that we still rallied with the indices as we were getting these. So, that we're decoupling a little bit from the dollar now, which is typically a sign, less when there's a correlation to the Fed, that happens and we have less of a headwind or a tailwind. So we'll have to see how this 4 manifests and what the markets actually do. But if that continues, we now have enough breadth in the market where it's going to continue without the dollar or treasuries or other tells that are likely to push us. All right, looking at TLT, we are really pushing now. Counts change, is now telling me, we're going to push a little bit above 99. So, I have a buy any dip mode here because I think the count does reset around 105 or 110 in the next day or so. So we'll see if that actually manifests. But I think we do get over 100 on this particular leg. Now, this morning we've got, a number of stocks on the earnings report today. Dollar General is one that, typically is a midstream retailer. Liquidity Services is another one that, has a decent looking chart. Whether or not Dollar General breaks down further is, I think a tell, or we get a breakout above where the breakdown line was. Well, I think will determine a lot of things on retail, at least the smaller players in the market, about how solid this market is or not. Now, I like Apple here. I've not gotten filled. I have a number of good to cancel orders. I'm just looking for a shot at 200 here going into January. Flow backs us up. So, what I've broken down, I put it in OptionStrat, so you guys can find the link. It's right here. When you go to the article, you just got to click on the here and it'll give you the link. So I'm looking at, loading 185, 195, 200, and 205s from January through March. I'm giving it plenty of room. That's just my thought. Now, pins, I like this for a reload. And, so I'm looking at 34, 35 calls that, and then I want to add some a little further out, 36, 37, 39, and 40s. And we're going to use, good to cancel orders, when we get down to that 32 is the number that I'm looking for. Now, Nita's getting a little bounce, counts flips forward. So if you have puts, I would cover them here and buy them back around 484, because that should, there's a good chance that this extends. One thing about ABCs, depending on where your trend support is, it usually gives you, a little bit of a heads up. If it's not going to be equality, which is right to 419, right? A little lower than what the county will suggest. Quality is 419. Extended is going to be down below the 200-day. Elongated is going to put us down to this November 2021 resistance level at that 315. So that would mean that something in China gets blocked. That's I always think of what would be the catalyst to get us there. Now, a nice recovery candle. We could push out of this. We could. I mean, Evita has always been that. It doesn't track Elliott wave as well as some other symbols do, because it is so emotional and it has such a deep moat of investors. So, that's a little bit difficult to track. Now, looking at the SPY, we're still building out this flag to the upside. Count says our 2 is in. That would put us, testing, maybe 407, 410, probably before Christmas, I would think, or at least the first week of January. Looking at the NASDAQ, we've put in our higher high. Now we see what we do here, because, this is a very euphoric push. You don't see many straight lines. See how you got a straight line here? And what did we get? We got not quite 50% back, so we got a good test. So I would expect that this readjusts and we get some kind of back test for the 8-day at least, and maybe the 50-day. We had one more push once this leg sort of looked similar to this. So maybe one more push to 402, 405, and then boom, we head lower for a little bit. Now, whether that happens after the Santa rally or before, I really can't distinguish between those at the moment, because I just don't see it. All right, now crypto. Boy, did that move just go with Bitcoin. Just beautiful move. Now, looking at the count, now on the daily, we got a confirmed high and a divergent high. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Count right now says 46 with a back test of 39. That is probably going to extend. We're probably going to push up towards 53. Just looking at drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. I see no reason this doesn't manifest into a 3 drive to a top. Trend support is down here. I'm looking at the ledge as the support. So that would get us back to the 123.6 fib, and realize whether this is our high or this is our high, that trajectory is probably going to be what we get. So around the 1382 fib by then at 40,377 is where we probably break down. And then we start our next leg heading up. Now, the one thing with Bitcoin, and let me go out to the weekly look for a second to give you a visual, is this does not look like it's going to slow down. Notice where my mouse is. Mouser's way up here. There is nothing here that's going to slow this down until 59.76. So this could come in and put a more aggressive candle, and then one more aggressive candle, and you got 3 soldiers there to the upside. That's viable just from that look. We are just now confirming on the weekly. Now compare that to the daily. As far as the look, we're well into the daily. So if we come down to the weekly, let me rephrase that. This whole leg right here is just leg 1 on the weekly. So, we're going to put probably our confirmed high is probably going to come in right above 70. So we have a potential of having a lot of upside right now, just a lot of upside. All right, looking at GBTC, I saw a little rejection right at the 50-day, right to it, boom, or 50% back. Now I would like it to go back to the trend support and that hold at this point, but it's probably just doing this right here. This little thingamajigger here is happening here. Right now the count says 38 is next. Now looking at Ethereum, I mean, still building. We're heading towards our new intermediate wave 3 around 2,500 next. Then we get a nice back test to about 2,300, and then we head towards that 2,777. All right, so looking at XRP, I mean, get a little FOMO. We're right about 63 cents on this, so looks pretty decent. But that's what I have for today, folks. Great trading. Until next time.